this is Mr. Dong from Visa in Korea. Wow, raining day today, right? Not exactly raining, but this is my PPT file. It's raining right now. Oh no, it's snowing right now, right? It's snowing right now. Okay. As you know, I am gathering certain questions from my Facebook page, right? Yeah, Facebook and a page and a Visa in Korea. And so I am gathering that the questions for which kind of the lecture will you really want to learn from me. So yesterday I posted it and I took a lecture for F1, F3 visa holders and how they can the work in Korea with a work permit from immigration office, right? But today I am focusing on F5 visa, right? So, and as you know, usually when you apply for the F5 visa, right? And it is basically required for the GNI double income, right? So GNI is gross national income, right? So 2019's and GNI was 37.4 million won. It's very huge. If it's double, it's required. You the yearly income shall be over 75 around, right? And also in March this year and 2020 GNI will be released, right? But nobody knows in how much GNI is increased or not, okay? And we are today is focusing on and your spouse knew how can each other's income can combine to apply for the F5 permanent residence visa and also and the F515 the PhD degree holder from one of the Korean university, right? That kind of person and ask some about below and a question. So there are two and the lectures inside that. The first one, the which visa types can combine spouse income and mine. The second one is what can we prove and the regular worker and employment with a certificate, right? The one and two. I will explain very clearly. So but you can check my Facebook page and we can see that you can see that my posting about your question and which kind of a lecture will you really want it, right? So you can and comment on it and I can reflect on your questions and make this video, right? This is the second time video. So if you like our YouTube channel, subscribe us. It is very helpful for you. Also, it will give me a very great motivation, right? Please kindly check the subscribe with us. Let us start today's lecture. Okay, F5, F5. Everybody wanted F5 because F5 visa is our permanent residency, right? So if you got the F5 and your spouse may can change F5, F5 3 or other F5 time, and 2 years later then, and your spouse can change F5 too. The most important thing is, first time, you or your spouse don't have to change F5. If your spouse you want to change F5. So today's I am focused on the F5-1 visa. What is the F5-1 visa? This F5-1 is for the general permanent residency, right? This is a very important and really want to get the kinds of visa, right? So F501 visa, general, permanent, the residency visa, right? So which kind of visa can apply for the F501, right? If you do, right? And I just explained it last time, D5, news coverage, D6, and uh, it's kind of like the religion visa, right? D7 dispatching visa, right? And the investment D8 and D9, this investment and a working visa, usually E1 to E7 visa, right? That kinds of visa, right? But as you know, my previous lecture, F1 and F3, but F3 exactly the spouse of that kind of visa, right? F1 is F2 visa holders, F2 visa holders spouse, right? So if they can, the change the kinds of visa is okay, but can change. Change is okay. But I explained before that and extra working. But usually, E1 to E7 visa, right? If you do, can you check that which kind of person can apply for the F5-1 visa? That kind of person, right? But how about the F1, F3? Even if they are working as an extra working after permitting from the immigration office, but they're working at the field, but their visa still remains F1 and F3. So F1 and F3 itself cannot change, right? F5-1. This is a rule. So if you want it, right? If you want it, right? And you can combine each other's payment, okay? This is a very excellent one. Can combine, right? But the important thing factor, right? F1, F3 itself cannot change F501 because their visa is F1 and F3 and they don't have any F1 and F3 here, but can combine with your spouse visa. See you next chart. This is the visa in Korea make this chart and just only I just explained right now for this case. The most of all the cases, right? When you apply for the F5-1, when you apply for this one, and you or your spouse, this is a you, and this is your spouse. So because of our F1, F3 itself, right, you cannot apply, but you can combine with your spouse. Okay, so that one, right, your visa, it shall be this one, not F1, F3, right? So in this case, so your visa E1, E3, right, E5, the same thing, right, including. Actually, I just made it this one, but the simply, this is a D5, D6, D7. If you do, but if you, the main visa holders, if you got F1, F3, you can apply F501, right? So I said that so I just changed it, D5, D6, D7, right? Good. If you do, what happened? And you can combine with your spouse, but if they extra work permitted it. If they work permitted F1, even while they are holding F1, F3, and they got permitted work permit, in this case, you can combine. But your visa shall not be F1, F3, D5, D6, D7, right? And combine, and combine, and combine, and combine, and combine. Good. Okay. So, and I just erased it because somebody just checked it what they want to see. Okay, I'm very tricky. Okay, so okay, how about the you got a D9, and D8 visa holders. But you must meet and basic requirement, but such as and the monthly salary, the yearly sales volume shall be over 1 billion won. Well, 1 billion won, and 2 years average sales and the volume shall be 1 billion won. 2 years average. If you meet this requirement and your wife got F3 or your spouse, right? But if they and permitted working, extra working, right? So if you do, they can combine, 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 combine. Great. So if you got E1 and E3 visa, right, and your spouse F1, F3, and combine is no problem. Combine, E7 combined, 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 and E2, and your spouse got actually F3, but if they got it, right, then work permit, and they do that, right? And also, right, E2, E2, and they can combine E2, E7, E2 F7, E2 F299, right? E7 and F1, F3 spouse got this one, right? And actually no problem to do that, right? But how about the F7? Yeah, can combine, can combine, can combine, combine, and F299 and F27 combine, but it is cannot. This is the only thing. This is the most important thing. F299 combine, 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 combine. But the most important thing is this one. F27 and F271. 71. Oh, F27 itself. Oh, I'm sorry. I just made it this one. Okay. Uh, it's an important thing is the F27 and F27 itself is okay. But I said that. But you got F27 and your spouse F271 cannot combine. Okay, only this case. Okay, only this case. But I just said that I just see just F271, right? So F27 and F2, I saw one of the person got F27, but also spouse got F27. They can combine together. But F27 itself and F271, the spouse of F27, and they cannot combine each other, right? So my conclusion is like this. So conclusion, where's the conclusion? Yes, I just erase it. When you can see this one, if you just check that, right, and you just clicking the next page without the listing my whole things, it'll be not good for you, right? Not good for me too, right? Okay, look at this. Okay, the problem, the difficult one is F27 itself and the U, right? And F27 and your spouse, the separately, and if you got it, right, you can combine each other. But F27 and the F271, this F271 is a spouse of F27 visa holders. They cannot combine, right? This is clearly can understand. So look at this. The whole other visas, and if F1, F3, E1, E3, E2, E7, F299, right? Their spouse got F1 and F3, right? But if you do, right, if they got this one, additionally, is very beneficial for you. But only F27 and F27 and spouse got F271 is the same and benefit for the F27. This is the only visa right? But there is a certain the visa type like permanent residency and a visa holders and spouse F3, they can do everything they wanted. But this is a very specific in type. So that's why lots of foreigners are living in Korea. They want to change the F7 visa, right? And after that, they really want to change their spouse visa to F71. Why? While you're holding F7, right? Your spouse, continuously working here in Korea, and as well as and run their own business. But I said before that, right? F7 visa holders and F71 visa holders only allows in professional work. So not allowed simple work, right? It's such like a delivery service and restaurant working and a very simple and working as a working as a factory worker. It is not allowed actually, right? They have to work in a professional job. But anyway, the conclusion is that, right, F7 visa holders and a spouse, they cannot, right, even though they work together, but they cannot combine each other. Except for that, they can combine. Clear? Clear. Okay, the other today's question is F5 visa, right? So this is a permanent residency for a PhD degree holder in Korea. So what is the meaning of a regular employment and the meaning? This is currently Korean is 정규직. This is a kind of a permanent employment. Right. So if it proves this one, and you have to know the regular employment, but actually the lots of foreigners said the foreigners and extend their contract yearly or bi-yearly, right? So, and as you know, like in the regular worker and the permanent employee worker, this means that there is no any limitation for working in Korea. But can you see that? Even if you are just doing it, you have to extend it until you got specific and a permanent residency because of this is because to prove that under regular employment and immigration that considers that, yeah, I know that the foreigners living in Korea and working here, and you just you shall extend your working contract yearly or bi-yearly. I totally understand that. But if you prove that, if you prove that even though your working contract is extended yearly or bi-yearly, but if you submitted these two documents, right, and we will consider as you are 정규직, working as a regular worker or permanent worker. First one, certificate, regular worker. Certificate of a regular worker is a 정규직 확인서, right? You should buy your company, right? There's something like this. But he's working from when to until now, and he is a regular employment our company. That kind of certificate issued by your company, right? This is or your working contract. I saw the one of the person, right? Higher salary the person. The working contract has indicated that to the contracted you and your company, and you as a you are as a like a regular employer or permanent employment. If you do indicated that, then you can choose one of the things. The working contract has indicated or 정규직 확인서, certificate of regular worker from your company. You have to meet two things. The second one is there is a 국민 고용보험, national employment insurance. That one is if one of the company hires one of the Koreans, this is mandatorily they have to register 국민고용보험, national employment and the insurance. But and for foreigners, right? Your company it is kind of optional, right? So if you want it and talk to your company and register as your national employment, if you pay this one and you just pass 1 year, right? 1 year, more than 1 year, right? If you got this one and with this one and the national employment and the insurance are registered more than 1 year, right? If you do, and from and your certificate, your degree from PhD, right? To until the 1 year as a if you prepare the two document, right, with a GNI one-time income, right? If you do meet this one requirement, you can apply for F515, right? This is a PhD. No need, no KIIP, no KIIP, just GNI one-time income, right? Good. So you have to meet this requirement. See that, right? Okay. Wow, I just explained very clearly for that. Okay, kindly subscribe us, right? Subscribe us, right? Subscribe us and our YouTube channel and visit our website www.visainkorea.com and also Facebook page Visa in Korea, our Facebook page, right? And YouTube channel Visa in Korea 1, right? If you visit there and kindly subscribe us, right? And your subscription and give more like a motivation. I try on my best and make this a lecture and a lecturing for you. Okay, good. Okay, this is Mr. Jang, Visa in Korea. See you next time. Bye bye.